Hello, in this video we're going to build something like this. It's going to be expanded upon the last video where we got the character to animate properly based on user input, but then there isn't any interaction with other characters, and that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to make it interacts with other characters. So right now I can attack other wizards and then they will take damage. I can also, the camera also follows this character, and then basically, yeah, I can kill everybody, and then I can also swap between the wizards. So let's start it. So this is what we had in the last video. Yeah, right now the wizard, it moves, updates position properly, and then it animates the correct animation when you press a specific button. So let's begin. The first thing we should do is let's actually just get the hitboxes done. No, actually there's something that we need to fix from last time. So when you get attacked, when you're pressing Y, you take damage, right? But then it doesn't handle the fact that the attacks can be changed. So if you get attacked during the middle of your heart's animation, you should go back to the beginning of that animation. So the way to do that is, first let's break this out. Let's write a function for take damage. Array take damage, and then floats damage, and then health minus equals damage, and then minus equals take hits, and then we need the last thing to add is currents to equal take hit. This just makes sure that when you take damage, you're gonna go into the hits animation no matter what. So if you're attacking and you get hit, you go into hit animation, so it interrupts everything. And then we just call this function take damage here. Let's just do time damage. If you're pressing it very quickly, you see how I was stun locked into the first frame of that first animation. So this is working properly. And then now let's do hitboxes. So yeah, let's do it right above draw. So first we're gonna do hitbox of the character. So get hitbox, and then it's gonna need the camera position to do the camera pause, and then we need floats. If floats heights, floats x, floats y, and then we're gonna just return rectangle with height. Nope, it's xy. Oh, rectangle. I just like to format it like this, so it looks better. So width, it should be, let's start off with the rectangle of the spreadsheet of the frame, and then we're gonna have to scale it manually. So currents.get width equals currents.get height, then equals position.x, position.y. Then let's write a function to draw this out. So we draw its box vector 2 can pause camera pause, and then color. Yeah, let's use a default variable for the color, default value. Let's make it red, and I have this value somewhere in Animation Pro. Or not. Oh, it's in the headers. So this is a red color with like a little bit of transparency. That's the one I'm gonna use. So let's check out the hitbox. Right now the hitbox is gonna be huge. Draw hitbox camera pause. So yeah, that's the hitbox, and let's distinguish it from the frame size over here, and then let's give this a color as well. Let's do like orange. Let me see what the values for orange is. Or no, not orange, let's do green, because I want to use orange for the hitbox, the attack box. So 228, 48, 228, 0, 228, and then 48, and then 150. And let's actually separate this into a function, because we're not going to need it later. We draw animation dest rec. So it draws the destination rec of the animation. Get rid of this. It needs a vector 2 and a color. I would like to just put this onto to one line because it's short. Call this function in source wizard.draw animation destination rec camera pause. So yeah, so green and red, they combine to make brown, and now yeah, now let's scale the hitbox. Let's make it much smaller. So we're gonna adjust the width. Oh yeah, this one doesn't follow. Which one is this? Yeah, that's the hitbox. So we have to do hitbox.x minus camera.x, and then camera. So now it will follow the camera. It will be repositioned based on the camera's position. So there we go. And then now what we should do is let's do the width first. So this is the entire width. We want to multiply by a value that scales it down. So let's go with like 1/4 times 1/4. So that's the hitbox. Now we just have to offset it to where the wizard is, and that appears to be like one and a half. So 3/2. So we're gonna add the x value of it by width times 3 divided by 2. So yeah, that's directly on the wizard. If anything, it's a bit too big. Yeah, if anything, that's a bit too big, but you get the idea. Let's just do 1/5. And when you change the width and height, you kind of have to restart from scratch with the offset. So working with Raylib, working like this does make it a bit time consuming. So I think two looks like your offset. Plus width times 2. Okay, that looks good. And then we're gonna scale the height. Let me run it. So the height is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1/4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Move it 4 down. Oh, that's wrong. That's your height times 4. Oh, that's too low. Maybe it's 3. Okay. Well, actually, I see a formula to calculate it. Basically, you just do this bottom number, so it's 5, right? Subtracted by 1, and then divided by 2 for width, and then because you want it to be at the center, right? And then for height, it's all the way at the bottom, so you just do this bottom number subtract 1. So if I do like 5 for this, 4 should be what value you use here. Yeah, does work. The only thing is if you do like 2 over 5 here, then it might mess it up. But I'm sure you can still convert that value to something like 1 over something. So go back to 4. That is the hitbox, and then now let's do the attack box. So it'll be very similar, just copy the whole thing and then change it to attack box. Draw attack box. Make sure to change the function call here to attack box, and then I want orange, so let's go here, orange. What is the value? 2551610, 2551610, 2551610. So the attack box should be orange, and then let's just go to the beginning. So that's gonna be the entire frame size, and then let's also draw that out. Insert, draw attack box, camera box. So that's the entire hitbox. Like the attack is huge, so like half of this width is good, and then half of this height is also good. Just look at how big the attack is. So wait, times 1 over 2, and then let's use that formula that I came up with. So 1 divided by 2, and then so this is gonna be 2 minus 1 divided by 2. So that's 1 divided by 2, 1/2 times width plus width times 1/2. 1 divided by 2. Maybe. And then this would be like height times 1 divided. Well, that would just be 1, right? Because height is different. You want it at the bottom. So. Okay, that works. And then now we just have to offset it depending on the direction he is facing. So if you're facing the left side, you're gonna do position dot x minus like half of the width. Seems good. Let's see goes. Width times 1 over 2. Else you're gonna add by 1 over 2. Oh, it's the x. Nope. Yeah, there it is. That's the hitbox, and then I'm happy with that. I'm happy with this. Yeah, it's a huge attack. So, and it works for both two attacks. Okay, so what else do we need to do? I guess first let's just comment out the frame. We don't need the frame anymore. Okay, let's create a vector for all of the characters. Wizard, and then wizards, and then get rid of this one, we don't need that anymore. So down here we're gonna do wizard, and then push this back into the wizard's vector. Let's do like tiny wizards right now. And then this is setup wizard, so let's write a push for us. Setup wizard setup. Wizards setup. Make sure to call this function in your setup function. And then all of this we can just change it to be for sky 0 I less than 0 dot wizards dot size. So we're just looping for all the wizards and then drawing them out. Should we need this? Same thing for here. Okay. So that should draw the wizards out. Wait, where are the wizards? Oh, they're all drawn on the exact same spot. So let's randomize the positions just a little bit. So we're gonna need sran. This one. Wait. Screen with. Let's move this out. Vector to position equals this, and then we're gonna do mod get screen heights, and then pass in the position. So their position should be randomized. And now they're all taking input, so they're all moving. Yeah, let's get rid of the hitboxes. Just too much. Yeah. So that's all the wizards. They're all taking input at the same time. So let's do this. Let's use a global variable for target. And then let's have target be initialized to 0. So just make sure you always add something into this wizard vector. Take input, we're only gonna make one of them take input, so if target UI, and I'm gonna keep this for loop because we're gonna need it for other things. And then one more function for the input, if is key press the left mouse button, just is mouse button pressed. So one, that should be the right mouse button. Sorry, I meant the right mouse button. And then you're going to do target plus plus, and if target is greater than the size of the vector, then you reset it back to 0. Greater than or equal to the size. Alright, let's do it. So right now I'm targeting this one, then different one. And there's also a problem where, like, once you uncontrol, they no longer call the take input function, so they no longer end animation. So there's just something we need to update. And then we actually have to write a new function for this, because we have to handle ending the animation for attack as well. Or I mean for movement as well. There's no source necessary. Yeah, let's write it here. So void end control. Basically, we just call it end animation, and then if status equal status equals idle. So if you, and then also make sure that if that, just return. So this function just makes it so that once you give a control, there's still a function for the other wizards to run that ends their animations. So uncontrol, we go to source.cp, and then inside the for loop, we're gonna do else uncontrol wizard.i uncontrol. So if they're not taking input from the user, they will end their animations, and if they're running, they will become idle. So let's see. Oh, semicolon. So I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna swap, and you see how he stops. Yeah, so animation ends properly now when you swap control. And then what is the next thing we should do? Are we ready for attacks? For dealing damage? Let me see. Let me just try jump as well, just make sure that's okay. If I'm in the air and then... Oh, okay, yeah, this is one more thing we need to fix. So when you're jumping, because we're taking input for jump. Okay, so is this thing. So in this update position, we're calling this no matter what, whether or not the wizard is our target or not. And then it takes input in here as well, so that it is possible for a wizard to change their velocity, their x velocity in mid-air, even if they're not the target. So we have to change the location of these two lines of code. We just have to move it to input. So I'll just copy the whole thing and then get rid of the gravity. And then notice how it's not inside here, because these two conditions are gonna stop this from running. We just do it outside. We make sure that if the character is in air, then you have the ability to change its x velocity. Give the x velocity some acceleration. So dt this gets frame time. Okay, now you shouldn't be able to increase the velocity of wizards that you don't control during air. So now I'm gonna swap. Guys, just slow him down anyways. I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't. So it's fixed. So now we're ready for the attack logics. We need to write one more. Oh yeah, let's do a camera syncing first. So you can lock the camera onto the character you are controlling. Let me find it. Okay, let's write it right here. So it's gonna return a vector 2. Basically, it's gonna use the position and the scale of the visitor to calculate if the camera is locked onto this character, where should the camera be? And then we'll get that vector 2 out and use that to set the position of the camera if the camera is locked. So I think I have the function already written. This one you can just copy, but then I'll show you how to like update it so that you can change the position of the character. I'll just show you, you know what I mean. So we have to update the screen. Get screen width. Oh, we didn't write anything yet. And right now, when you press the L button, it locks or unlocks the camera, and that's inside the camera class. It's already done. So we're gonna just do it here. Keep the camera stuff together. If camera get is get locked, if the camera is locked, camera dot set position. Set position to the target wizard. That gets sync camera position. So right now the camera is not locked. I press L, the camera is locked. And then I can swap characters and then it jumps the camera to another spot. So that locks the camera, and then let me show you what I was talking about. So if you want to adjust where the camera, like where the wizard would be when the camera is locked onto the camera, you can change the values in that function. But first, let me lock the camera by default. So yeah, like right now, the wizard is more or less in the center of the screen. And then if we want the wizard to be a bit lower, we can change the value over here. So like this is the X position, and then this is the Y position. And then you're gonna see like this value in the end that is added to the Y position. This is how you change the height, the Y position, where you want the wizard to be once the camera is locked onto the character. Let's just try to like divide it by 5, whether or not that makes it higher or lower. So that made it lower, or did it? Okay, yeah, that did. Yeah, I was pressing the arrow buttons, which unlocks the camera immediately. So that did make it lower. Let's divide it by a bit more. Well, you're still adding the value to it. We can just, yeah. That makes it higher. So what if we just subtract? Oof. We just add. So we're starting with a smaller value. Let me try this. Let's just see where it is supposed to be by default. Okay, that's the bottom, and then we want it to be a bit higher. Oh, not excited. When we add a value, yeah, it brings the camera down a bit, so it makes your character appear to be higher. It's going in the opposite direction. So like when your camera moves down, all of the objects you see on screen goes up. So we do add a value, but we add a small value to bring it down by a little bit to 6. Yeah, I'm happy with this one. And you can also adjust the X value by a little bit. Like if you add like 100, I'm guessing since it's the opposite direction, it should be more towards the left. Yeah, you're more towards the left. Like you can decide the direction just by adding or subtracting the value. Like if you add a value, you're going to the left, then that's the direction. Like you know which direction. Then you can just scale the numbers by how much you want to offset the character by. So we're done with this. Okay, I guess one more thing we need to do before we can do the attacks is to make sure that we know exactly when the character is dealing damage, when the attack box exists. So let's write a function, a Boolean function for that. Is attacking, and really we can just use if status equal attack 1 and static currents dot finished currents animation currents frame and currents dot get frame equals the exact frame you want it to be at. This is equal. So there are two attacks. There's also attack 1 and attack 2, so we have to do for both of them. But this is the structure for determining when the attack box should exist. So attack 2, then turn true if the status is attacking, and then you finish the currents frame and you're at the specific frame where the attack should happen. So if you're not attacking, then you shouldn't get the attack box should be like empty rectangle, or like a rectangle with 0 width and 0 height. Rectangle 0, 0, 0, 0. And then a 0 rectangle, we're gonna use the Raylib function for checking rectangle collisions, and if the rectangle that was passed in has a width and height of 0, it's not gonna collide with anything. So let me just change the number of wizards. Just change it to 1 for now, and then turn on the hitboxes just so that you can see what I mean. So right now I press H. Well, you're not. So like sometimes you see the attack box, sometimes you don't, and it's actually happening perfectly. It's just that the frame is so fast, the FPS is so fast that you don't see it. So let me set the target FPS to 60, and you see the attack box every time I attack. So right now it's happening at frame 0, so we still have to update that. So let me just say when the attack actually happens. 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's when the attack happens for attack 1 at frame 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4 for both. And then if you want it to be on a different frame, you just change the frame number. So 4 and 4. And then for me to make it even more clear, let's just out of value attacked. For now, a line when the character is attacking. So if it ever gets to this part, if the function call ever gets to this part, that means the character is attacking. So right now, G, attacked. So it happens every time. And then, so let me get rid of the frame rate. So like now, I increased the frame back to whatever it was before, and you're not going to see the orange boxes anymore. You won't see it every time, but the attack, the message still prints out. So you're attacking when you click the attack button. So let's delete the CL statement. Let me just look over the code. We should be ready for the attacks, for like the wizards that attack each other now. Okay, yeah, we should be ready, so let's just do it. And then if there's something wrong, I'll figure it out. So for instance, we're gonna loop for every wizard, and then for every wizard, we're gonna loop for every other wizard. J. And then we check for collisions, attack box collisions with hitboxes. If the I and J are not equal, so if it's not the same wizard, then we're gonna check for collision. So let's make these the attackers, these the defenders. Oh yeah, we have to write one more function, right, for the collision, for checking collision. So bool is hits by wreck. So we're gonna need a rectangle for the attack box, and then a camera pause, vector 2 for camera pause, and then one more for the float's damage. Oh yeah, we have to add a damage parameter. So let's add here float's damage, pass into a constructor, float's damage. And then we have to update the constructor. So let's just make the damage, it should be right here. So let's make the damage like 10. Yeah, there's a fourth one, so. Back to the function. Is hit by rank. Check collision rex. So we're gonna pass it two rectangles, attack box, and the hitbox gets hitbox camera box die. If they are colliding, then take damage or damage. And this is ready. So let's go back. If wizards.add_j is gonna check for the. It's gonna check whether he's being attacked. What's the problem here? Oh, .si@j. Is by rec, and then we're gonna pass in a rectangle. Rectangle attack box equals wizards.add_i.get attack box. So attack box is this one. Camera.get pause, and then we're gonna get the damage from the wizard. So we need a getter for this. We need a getter for the damage. Floats gets damage. Return damage. Wizards.add_i.get damage. Well, I just cache damage. So there's the damage. Let's see if they get hit. Oh, it must return a value. Return true or false. Return true. Return false. Yeah, it's hitting them, and then I think that's the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. One more, and then they're all dead. And then, so that's a bug. And the problem is that for take damage, we're calling it again, which sets the animation. Let me pull it up first. So in take damage, it's gonna be called when it's hit by wreck is called, and this one is always, it doesn't check whether or not the character is already dead, so we just have to do that. Your character cannot take damage if they are already dead. So if dead, just return. But then we can also make sure it doesn't even run the collision check. It's hit by wreck, so if dead, return false. So if the character's already dead, it's not even gonna check. So okay, I killed them, and then I'm attacking. They don't, like, there's no bug anymore. It should be fixed. The jumping, the acceleration is probably too much. Let me decrease this value. Oh, it's still here. I guess I forgot to delete it from earlier. Maybe that was the problem, so it's accelerating twice. Okay, now is a more reasonable amount of acceleration. I think there should be everything, right? Let me just show you. Yeah, that appears to be everything. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna just do the same thing as last video. I'm gonna just copy all of these classes that I changed. So source wizard.cpp, I'm gonna just copy and paste them in the comment section below.